The laser dot trembled slightly, hovering steadily between his thick, furrowed brows. With one blink, his grin faded. Behind him, her fingers shook nervously. She noted how they always trembled when uncertain of their allegiance. He stood there, exuding confidence like a high school jock in the locker room, his chest inflated, veins popping, the epitome of a macho man. She positioned herself partially shielded by his imposing figure, as if that could protect her, as if sheer muscle could ward off danger coming from afar. Be wise and leave before things escalate, he warned, his posture defiant. I simply smiled. With 12 years as a sniper under my belt, 9 confirmed kills, and 5 more unconfirmed since I never missed and the bodies were never discovered, I knew a thing or two. It's amusing how easily big men can crumble, just like anyone else, especially when they're not the real target. 3 weeks back, she murmured another's name in her sleep, just once, softly, and not mine. I chose to stay silent, lying there staring at the ceiling, absorbing the weight of the silence that crept in like settling ash. In the morning, she greeted me with a kiss as if nothing had happened. We shared coffee and engaged in small talk, her phone buzzing with a name I didn't know displayed on the table. Curious, I asked calmly, "Who's that?" Her lips hesitated at the rim of her mug before replying too quickly, "Just a coworker." I maintained my composure, offering a smile and a nod. Betrayal often creeps in quietly, like a fuse burning out of sight, without the person even realizing the flames have ignited. I navigated through the following days with the precision of someone navigating through enemy territory, composed, vigilant, and discreet. I discreetly checked her car's GPS history and matched the locations with timestamps. It became evident that she wasn't working late, but instead parking at a high-rise across town for extended periods, always at the same unit number where a man named Cam lived. Through a contact still involved in intelligence work, I obtained a background check on Cam, revealing his real name to be Cameron Reese. He was an amateur bodybuilder with 2 assault charges that had been dropped. Certainly not someone I would have expected her to be involved with. But then again, I seemed to no longer fit her criteria. Then, I discovered a toothbrush in her gym bag that did not belong to her. The bristles were different, and there were traces of cologne that I did not use. Despite these findings, I kept my silence, processing the painful truth unfolding before me. That's the part that kills them in the end. Not the betrayal, not the exposure, the silence. The envelope came in at 14:37 on a Thursday. I already knew what was inside. I opened it with surgical care, DNA report. My name, her name, Cameron Reese, and the prenatal file. She was pregnant 6 weeks. We hadn't touched each other in 9. The last time I remembered, she winced like she was guilty. She turned off the lights like she was hiding something. I waited for her that night. Dinner on the table, favorite wine, everything perfect. She walked in surprised. I handed her the envelope, watched her eyes scan it, saw her face collapse inward. She opened her mouth, closed it, then the tears started. I didn't move, didn't speak. She begged, eventually said she was confused, said it was a mistake. Funny word that, like betrayal, can be filed under clerical errors. That brings us back to now. The cocky hope with a mouth too big for his skull, and her towering behind him, unsure of who to fear more. "You don't scare me," he spat. "Try." In the midst of attempting to heal, you're merely a faded memory, the laser dot danced nervously. His words trailed off as I interjected with a chilling tone, questioning his awareness of the looming threat. He glanced up, acknowledging the presence of an unseen figure, possibly positioned on a rooftop or across the street with a rifle in hand. I approached calmly, my icy demeanor unwavering. "Did she neglect to inform you?" I prodded, revealing the truth about her pregnancy with his child. Shock painted across his face as I softly disclosed her deception, concealing the paternity to maintain a facade that it was mine. Expressing non-aggression, I clarified my purpose in confronting him. "I'm not here to engage in conflict. I simply want you to understand the reality of the situation," I stated firmly. The laser dot vanished, prompting me to address her directly. "Refrain from reaching out or surveilling. Any future encounter will not end in dialogue," I warned before striding away, leaving the silence to linger without looking back. Some betrayals sever cleanly, while others fester invisible wounds. I had mastered the art of healing without sutures, letting go of the need for explanations, and accepting the harsh truth. She wasn't who I believed her to be, perhaps never was. And as for myself, I was constantly a weapon. She simply reaffirmed it. A weapon shows no tears, makes no pleas, feels no remorse for pulling the trigger. It ensures it never fails. And I always hit my mark.